Okay, everyone. Let's loosen up those shoulders, get that posture cranked up. Grab yourself refreshment. Let's have a good show, huh? Loosen up. I've been stressed. But no worries. Alright, well, here we go. Episode. Thank you very much, Gloria Tells. There we go, getting us started here. Episode 105. Sponsored by patreon.com/RedHawk Academy. We've been popping off with the content on there, the behind the scenes content of everything. And if you're new here, welcome. This is the Red Hawk Recap podcast where we go over all kinds of stuff. Stuff about psychology, stuff about health, stuff about MMA, stuff about chicks, stuff about relationships. We go top to bottom and hope you enjoy. This episode, we got Joe Diesel Riggs coming on. He's been an MMA vet, one of the longtime MMA vets. Look at his record. He's fought a lot. He's built to fight, and boy, is he a character. So he'll be coming on. I got a lot of shit going on, almost too much crap going on, seriously. I got this new gym. It's like should be done in 2 weeks. Trying to shut down my other gym. Trying to wait for the mats. Got classes to teach tonight. Got another seminar to teach after that. I got a lot of shit going on. A tad too much, but she'll slow down. We're going to Vegas tomorrow. Sean's going to get worked on at the PI a little bit. I got 4 students competing in Master Worlds and the Jiu-Jitsu Con. So they're prepared and we're ready to go here. But nothing a little herbs can't fix, okay? Okay, here we go. Let's start off with a little James Clear. This is a newsletter I subscribe to, and see if there's any gems from this week. Real quick, we'll go over, and then we had a lot of stuff to go over today. Okay, this is James Clear here. Number 1, people often think that something far off will make them happy. That moving to a new place or getting a different job or meeting someone new will change how they feel. But happiness will always be withheld if you believe it is somewhere else. The secret to find happiness in the people and places that are close to you. See the beauty in the things that are nearby. Warlike, you ever have problems being happy where you're at in Canada?
Yeah, sometimes I'd say. When I'm away from my routine, sometimes injuries push you out of jiu-jitsu and you're not doing the things that you want to be doing all the time. And I think that affects my mental more than anything.
Yeah, and I think if you're in a spot too where you're just not fucking happy, you gotta just figure out a way, figure out a plan. You gotta change it. And if you really can't see yourself being able to change it, you gotta learn to switch something in your mind. Switch it in your mind. Look at it a different way. Look at it from a different perspective, and be thankful. If you really hate it, change it. If you can't change it, you gotta change your outlook on it, really, or you're just gonna be miserable and pissed the whole time. Okay, number 2, who does the work? Who bears the consequences? Who reaps the rewards? When the incentives are aligned, it's the same person. Okay, that might be a little too deep right now. Number 3, one way I think about my writing. My approach is to empower, not to prescribe. We'll skip the writing one. Entrepreneur Derek Sievers on how to build a business. This should be good. Never forget that absolutely everything you do is for your customers. Make every decision, even decisions about whether to expand the business, raise money, or promote someone according to what's best for your customers. If you're ever unsure what to prioritize, just ask your customers the open-ended questions. How can I best help? Then focus on satisfying those requests. It's counterintuitive, but the way to grow your business is to focus entirely on your existing customers. Just thrill them and they'll tell everyone. That's true. I mean, the biggest growth I got from my gym is people just word of mouth. Just word of mouth. And a lot of people ask how to open a gym. How if you wanted to open a jiu-jitsu or an MMA gym, how do you even go about it? Well, first, I think you got to try to do your best at just becoming a master of the sport. Even when you become a master of the sport, you still got to keep learning because stuff's evolving so much. But you need to be in it long enough to where people are going to respect what you say, especially if they're looking at you for kind of guidance. You got to have enough experience for them to respect that, to respect what you say. So first, you got to it's going to take a long time in MMA because it takes so long to learn. You got to get good. Compete if you can. I don't think it's necessary to compete to become a coach, but I think it can help, especially if you compete just a couple times. That's going to help. But earning the respect.
Are there coaches that don't compete? Like
Yes.
that you know off the top of your head?
Yeah. There is, but they're still smart. And maybe those coaches aren't like the main guy for whatever art. They're not the main guy for striking. They're not the main guy, but maybe they're the head coach and they're a facilitator. So they like, okay, this kid is a great wrestler. He's got great jiu-jitsu. I'm going to set him up with this coach, boxing, this many times a week. And they facilitate the training around that, which is cool too.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then for me, I found something small. I was able to buy my mats for, I think, actually I traded a month's pay and they traded me the mats. So I got the mats. Usually the mats are the big expense when you're buying a gym, because one zebra mat's like $130. So if you need a whole ton of zebra mats, you're looking at dropping brand new. You're looking at dropping about $13,000 or more. But then I didn't get out a big old business loan and hope it pays off. I started at this little crappy mechanic shop. Literally, it was $900 a month. I think I had 8 or 9 paying members, so that paid the rent. But I wasn't getting paid yet. And then just slowly kind of built it up from there. But not only just MMA and jiu-jitsu, you got to learn how to communicate with people. Every person that comes in, some people are really friendly. Some people roll in like they're assholes. And maybe they are, but most of the time it's because they're nervous and they're insecure and they think they need to act that way coming into a fight gym. But learning how to communicate to people. Every person is going to learn something a different way. So the way you explain it to one person, it might click, but it might not click at all to the other person. So you got to explain it a different way. And just learning to be nice to people. Learning to be nice, and that's a big piece of it. It really is. So you ever see JX is looking to open a gym probably in the next year or 2 years maybe.
Hell yeah.
You guys thinking about buying those mats, Jay, or no?
Yeah, ask Teaser. He's just like, let's just wait on it because we don't even know how big our space is going to be.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like, where we're going to be at in like a year.
Well, yeah, because I'm going to keep that kickboxing gym open for another 2 weeks, so you still have time.
Yeah, because I'm thinking too, I still have to like obviously keep coming in, training hard, compete, like just keep doing what I'm doing. I can't just like,
you don't need to rush into it. You don't need to rush into it because when you do open your own place, it does halt your teaching a little bit. Mm-hmm. Not a ton, because you can still study. You still study online a lot, and I mean, there's always
got to balance like still getting my hard rounds in, not just like okay, I'm done.
Yeah, like I mastered it. I'm ready to just teach. Like still, there's just so much shit that I need to learn still too. But that's what makes it fun and sweet about jiu-jitsu. You don't just master it so easy. Yep. You guys ever heard of a lobotomy? You know what that is for?
Is that where they damage the frontal lobe on your brain and it renders you?
A lobotomy, also called a leucotomy, is a type of psychosurgery that was used to treat mental health conditions such as mood disorders and schizophrenia. Psychosurgeries are procedures that involve the physical removal or alteration of the part of the brain. Holy shit, how many people died learning that? They take a metal fucking thing and they put it right above your eye and they hammer it in till it stabs that part of the brain.
Yep, right in the frontal lobe, and then it like renders you kind of like a vegetable.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes you a vegetable.
Yeah, like it damages the part in your brain where it's just like, if you read into it more, I'm not 100% sure, but it's like, it just resets you. It's like, makes you like not like a child, but like you understand things as like a child.
Mm-hmm. You guys, because I started watching this pill show. I want to talk to Joe Riggs about the pills because he got addicted to painkillers too. I mean, I think a lot of fighters do get addicted to painkillers. Because literally, if you get a surgery and you have to just sit there all fucking day. And the little tiniest tasks cause the most pain and it just pisses you off. Then you take one of those painkillers and it's literally like melts you. It like makes it okay to just lay there all fucking day.
It's probably the best part of your day at that point, right? You're just sitting in a bed. You can't do anything.
When those things sink in, For sure. Well, we got some Patreon questions, and we got some UFC news here until we get into the talk with Joe Riggs. He should be here soon. We'll fucking see, huh? Okay, you've seen any news lately?
We had the Dana White Contender Series last night. It was a good one. I think 3 contracts were awarded, and then we had the fights that were early on Saturday. Mm-hmm. We woke up for those ones. Nothing very spectacular. Erin Blanchfield kind of looked human in the first round versus Talia Santos. Then she won the second and third.
So Erin Blanchfield, because who's the champion in her weight class? Weili?
Yeah. No, flyweight. It's Alexa Grasso. Who's fighting Valentina.
So the Alexa Grasso versus Blanchfield, that might be a decent battle.
It's a good matchup for her too.
God, he made it. Have a seat. Oh, you got a new Vans shirt, did you? Now, where did you get that? Good to see you again. You can talk into the blue light on that bump up. You can move however it goes. But we were talking about this new show that I've been watching. It's called Pills.
Oh, have you? Tell me about that, Pills.
God, so was it after a certain injury that you got kind of addicted?
Yeah, for sure. It was after my back injury.
How did you get your back injury?
I first hurt my back when I was in Utah, getting ready to fight Matt Lindland and
Matt Lindland.
Yeah.
Did you end up pulling out of that fight?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I felt like a little tweak, and then instead of getting it fixed, I remember I went to the doctor and I got injections in my back, and then he was giving me like normal painkillers that like 5 milligrams what they give you in the store.
So he hit you with the cortisone, and then the painkillers, was it morphine or was it OxyContin?
It was Percocet. So I think it's oxycodone with Tylenol in them, like the 5 milligrams with the lowest they give you, and then just gradually went up there.
So was that months of you sitting at home being like, you just got to sit there, and to get out of pain, you take 5-10 milligrams of that?
Yeah, I had no idea what addiction was. I had none, zero. And then taking it took the pain away. I didn't sit there and abuse it and take a lot more than I would. Actually, I didn't take any more than I should have. And then when I got my surgery years later, after still masking it with that, when I stopped taking it, I started going through withdrawals, and I called the doctor and I said, "Hey, I'm feeling this way and this way." And then he said, he asked if I had any more with me, and I did. I took a pill, and then he asked me how do I feel after that. He said I feel great, and then he's like, "Is that weed thing?" And then
we'll go get your mind thinking good.
I'm good. And then and
why, you're against it?
No, I started smoking weed recently.
Oh, I would love to have a smoke.
Oh.
Have you tried this thing at all?
No, I haven't.
It's very low, like not hard. Have a rip.
There's nothing in it.
Yes, there is. It looks like it's vapor.
Really?
It's literally vapor. So put your puss lips right there and have a go.
So there's nothing.
Well, curl your lips a little bit. Holy hell, you don't suck on it like a fucking nip. Oh, God. There he goes. No. Enjoy that. You'll like that. Isn't that weird?
What is that?
It's vapor. It heats it up, vaporizes it. So
you guys are all stoned up and stuff.
He's smoking a little vape, little vape.
Tastes like cologne.
Mm-hmm. No, but dude, I've been watching this pain pill show, and it's how OxyContin and stuff came about, and how hard they pushed that on people, hard they pushed doctors to do that. And so you were taking it even when you were back to training. You were taking it before training, taking it just throughout the day.
Yeah, because I had surgery, and then I realized I was physically addicted to it, and which the realization of that was fucking terrible. So I didn't get off those for I don't know. I mean, I went off and on it for a couple of years, and then I finally kicked it. I'm saying 2009.
When was it like, wow, I better fucking kick this?
When I was sifting through the shag carpet. No, I swear to God, this is a true story. It's a little embarrassing.
It's okay, let it go.
let it go. Just shame yourself. So I was breaking them apart so I was trying to wean myself down, which it's not utterly impossible to do that yourself because you have self-preservation. You don't want to hurt. So I was breaking them apart, and there was like I had one pill left, and it bounced into the shag. So I'm sifting through the shag. Oh my god! Well, I heard a similar story of some crackhead doing that. Like sifting. He said that he had smoked like popcorn ceiling and stuff like that. I was like, what am I doing here? And then I go to Lisa. I'm like, well, what am I doing? And then she was, at this point, because addict behavior is something that's very real. Whether you start taking pills because of pain or to escape some sort of mental suffering you're going through, the addict behavior that you develop over that is just fucking exhausting, not only to you, for your family. And so things I put my wife through,
It's just getting numb, laying there, just
fucking dick failing you.
Fuck. So it was brutal getting off.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And then because it doesn't, you don't really get your full, mental state that you had before for probably like a year. You go through, the physical withdrawals goes away.
But it's almost like a depression.
Yeah. It's that. It's a lack of any fucking drive to do anything. You just want to lay there and just.
And then you take one, and it finally kind of makes that go away. And you're just like,
if you did, yeah. I never went to. Because it is evil. I swear to God. Those pills. Obviously, they have a place when you have surgery, but like in the UK, you remember Bradley Scott? Mm-hmm. Bradley Scott had surgery, and he had an infection in a bone in his leg, and they struggled with the fact that they should give him anything in the hospital, much less at home. So they obviously don't give a fuck about that in the United States. They just fucking my brother Jason, he's fucking a homeless bum.
Here?
Yeah, that's terrible. I shouldn't laugh at it, but yeah. Well, because my brother's done a lot of shitty things. He's stolen from me, fucking. But I swear to God, so when I came back from Montana, my dad said he lives under the bridge. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And so I paid for. I put in like $5,000 or $10,000 out on 2 different occasions for him to go to rehab. He walks out the next day. But so he's under, because my dad sold his house, and he told my brother to get better. Get a job. He's on methadone, which is that's the government's way they could tax heroin.
So what's the hardest drug you've ever just fucking ripped and done? Where you're just like...
Well, I tied off my genitals and... No, I didn't. Goddamn. Fucking good goddamn.
Well, what did they give you when you ended up...
What was the highest prescription, like the opiate amount?
No, when you actually had that penile fracture.
Oh, you motherfucker.
What did they give you?
What... Penile fracture.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
So
a penile fracture is when you're horned up and you're pumping and you're thinking you're the man, and maybe you're being a hero and going all the way out and all the way in. Boom, boom. And then it catches.
Right in the tailbone.
So then the bottom part's hardened up and the top is just...
It's like a windsock, if you will. But I was already off by then.
But did they give you anything to handle that
pain?
They tried. Or put you in a cast?
Put a couple of with that fucking popsicle sticks, you motherfucker.
Put 4 condoms on.
When you get a penile fracture, what happens is the top, like a windsock, it just hangs off. Then the bottom's all fucking revved up, and it just keeps getting worse. And then they had 2 needles, bang. And into the 2 chambers and drag the blood out of them themselves.
Wow.
And the dick, the root's never the same after that,
It's all crooked.
No, yeah. but even if a little bit of pressure gets put on me, starts to bend at the yeah. There's son of a bitch has never really recovered from that. But
I felt a couple close calls on the penile. You must have been just letting it rip then.
Oh. Tell you what, I was really getting wild with it, and then fucking, the way it happened, it bounced off I rolled on the ground. What's going on? Nothing. Flicked the light on. Just
fuck me.
The look I had in my face would probably I felt like my jaw was just hanging open because looking at that motherfucker just looking like it's hanging on by a fucking thread.
And fucking 70s bush around it. God damn it. Oh, fuck.
But yeah, those were terrible days.
Oh, fuck.
Took a while to recoup from that fucking the penile fracture. That was nice. A good setup.
So what was the most amount of painkillers, like milligram wise, you were doing per day at the highest?
Here's how fucked up these doctors are. So the doctor that was giving that I was going to this pain management clinic, I was getting off, and I got off, and then this was like I was off for a month. I still wasn't fully, back to where I was, not even close, but maybe 2 months. But then I had my foot turned septic. I went in the hospital and got right back on them, and then this doctor, remember I was taking 7.5 milligram Percocet, and then I go to him like, hey, these aren't working. I'm having taken some. He goes, okay, and then he gives me 15 milligram oxycodone. So it takes the Tylenol right out of him, and then just all the pure drug, and then he still let me keep the bottle that I said it didn't work, which is.
And you're going, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, secretly, I'm like this motherfucker. But at the same time, I'm cognitively aware, knowing where I'm like.
It's like self-destructing.
Yeah. I mean,
willingly self-destructing.
It's the most bizarre feeling. It's nuts. Like inside, I'm like, yes, I just got one over on knowing this is gonna end. But
it's probably a lot like porn, jacking off too many times.
I don't know.
It feels good.
What am I doing here? It's been 7 hours.
What am I looking at?
What am I looking at? Yeah, but it was horrible. Thank God I didn't. I had people's rock bottom is different. Everybody's they could be fucking like my brother on the street, or just the thought of them losing your family is something that's.
There was a point when I was pretty much literally flat broke, and Joe and Lisa let me live with them for a bit, and he found out that I smoked weed, and he thought I was fucking the devil's son.
Oh God. I was like,
Do you know what God thinks of that?
You know what I did not. Yeah. You know what God thinks? You know what you're doing? Yeah.
You know where you're going if you keep doing that?
Fucking just give me the
preacher. Said.
Oh, bullshit.
You did. And then Sean stayed with him for a while. Like, thank God for these people when we were flat broke that we had people like that to help us. Sean stayed. And Sean was smoking weed out the window.
No, he started. I was in Korea with Benson, and Lisa has bad asthma, and I'm like, and he was blowing the window or something. And I told Sean to go outside, and he's in the fucking. Lisa opens the door, he's right there pulling the bong, and Lisa's like, "Oh, why?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was dying.
When did you start thinking maybe I'll give this stuff a go?
Fucking, I'm not like a month ago. I mean, actually, I've been watching you for the past few years. Waiting for you to go.
No, he's not.
No, I just see, because I see people that you say you take pain medication, for example. There's not like you're gonna rise above it. I mean, that's scientifically fucking made to fuck your life up.
Destruct.
No, of course. I mean, what successful person do you see that's strung out on opiates? This doesn't happen.
It's curious how many people, successful people in Winterland that are just been ripping Adderalls all day, every day for 20 plus years.
Adderall is something that it keeps you. You can't sustain just keep on Adderall, because then that, just like painkillers, that doesn't work.
You gotta do more and more.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to fucking end up shooting meth or something like that. Which
little heroin hit.
Yeah, fucking That's a different kind of drug. One's up or one's a downer. And I've never done meth and stuff like that, but. We know someone who is in the middle of a struggle.
Yes, it's not funny at all. Fuck you smirking.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Does it rhyme with an Anki? No, I don't know what you're talking about, Ben. I don't know what you're talking. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, tell me later.
It rhymes of ick.
Okay. I think I know. No, I don't.
Okay, good.
Okay, so have you ever went to a fight, agreed pay, whatever the pay is, $5,000 to $4,000, just like earlier on, and the promoter ends up boogieing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. I fought in
Anyone that stick out?
I have two of them. I fought in this card, and you remember Brad Kohler? He fought in the UFC. Hit that first fake double, and boom, he knocked out.
Yeah.
Dave. Okay, so he used to throw shows in like Minnesota. It was somewhere in the Midwest, and myself, Rich Franklin, a bunch of guys fought on the card, and it's a pretty packed house. So we're waiting to get paid after there, and so he's up in this room counting stuff. All of a sudden, the ambulance come. He fakes a heart attack, hits the ground, and they drag him out. And we went. And
his pocket's full of cash.
Oh yeah, and we're at the because we're broke fighters. I think I was getting paid $2,000.
Yeah, you're fighting paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, 100%. I was fighting like 4 times a month just so I could make like $5,000 a month. And then he was fucking. He comes like skipping out of the hospital like 5 hours later. Rich Franklin's right there because he's a math teacher that just really struggling and blindsides him. Clips him and then fucking I started putting the boot to him. Fucking just we didn't get any money out of him, but we got a little bit of beat down on him. And then another time in
so you had to fly back home. You fought. Fucking don't get any money.
Got my fucking beak bent.
I know people bitch about these like the commissions and stuff. But they'll help get you paid.
They're for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna fight this guy Gustavo Machado. It was actually a big card, and this guy with the commission you're supposed to have I think 25% of the purse in before the show starts, and then before the show starts because we weighed in, and then there was like 15, 20 fighters on it that were big names, and then a couple of turns, but so like a lot of, like at least 10 UFC veterans. And so the commission says shuts the show down because he didn't have the money. The guy tries to get everybody to re-sign the contract for $1, and then he'll pay us even more afterwards. And the commission covered 25% of our purse at least for making weight. So I think got like $6,000 or $7,000 out of it. It's better than nothing. But I didn't fight, so I mean, that's what commissions do. That's a good thing.
So you've been in how many MMA fights total?
I was just looking the other day because I have 2
amateur included.
I never had an amateur fight, but I never.
Oh yeah, that's right, straight professional. But how many total?
Like 75.
75.
No, fuck no. Sorry, 95.
95, and then so for all those fights you were probably sparring, and early on you were probably sparring real hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You ever worried about getting punch drunk?
Fuck yeah, for sure. And then this thing just fell down. Okay, but when I was sparring really hard, like getting hit, and it doesn't matter even if you're the hammer in the gym, you're still the nail sometimes. And
it's crazy. Your eye almost went back.
Yes.
To see Joe had a wandering eye there for a good couple years.
Oh God, it was the butt end to a lot of jokes.
But now she's healed up, looking better.
It's with a little bit of time and age.
So do you ever find yourself, because like from concussions and shit, you see it on did you watch the new Fury documentary on Netflix? It's good, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking good. It. But you see like he's already so, bipolar, and don't like depression and suicide come from too many concussions?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at a lot of, retired NFL players, a lot of them have killed themselves, because of that. But it's, people say that your brain tissue can't regenerate. They're proving that to be wrong too. Because if you, for one thing, because I stopped sparring as hard as I used to and I haven't sparred. I haven't been hit with a big shot in, a couple weeks actually. No, I haven't been putting damage on my head anyways like I used to at all. And I notice a big difference in just the way I talk from right now than I did even 6 months ago.
Oh, for sure, bro. For sure. When you were heavy in it too, it's hard to even understand.
Yeah,
but now it's already more clear.
Well, people. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was talking on the phone, and because I do have a speech impediment. I do mumble, so it doesn't help it. But then,
and what is that from? Is that from?
That's just from probably having a drug addict mother that.
Yeah, a smoking mother. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh fuck it! You're right on the fucking money, you son of a bitch. No, but it's I don't know. It was because I have ADD. They thought I was retarded. Sort of. I'm not kidding. And it's fucking until they didn't diagnose me with dyslexia until I was a sophomore in high school, which was painful. It was really painful.
Dyslexic. Okay.
I'm
I would say I'm dyslexic too.
really, I'm severely dyslexic. Where fucking they just pushed me through each grade because of athletics or anything, you know, just to get them by, and then I don't know how they didn't find it out. I mean, it wasn't a fucking didn't take a genius to figure it out. But anyways, it's that sucks going through that, and then it stifles my growth as a kid too. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you see it even with that in that Tyson Fury show. It's like you fight your whole life, and literally that's all you know. You dedicated your life to it. Your paychecks come from it. When people look at you, they see you as a fighter, and you get addicted to those highs and that rush and that payday. And then it stops, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to just stop it. That's
what's hard. Even when fighters don't necessarily need the money anymore. It's that when all they have done is identify themselves with fighting. That's a hard thing to let go of, you know.
And then you get addicted to things like maybe it's partying, getting addicted to things that do self-destruct you.
Fuck yeah, it's that
to feel that high
for sure. I mean, because people can say what they want, but people like being, you know, recognized, given kudos for it, you know, getting out of words.
Respect,
of course. And then when that goes away, you know, the only things that people around you are the people that were there before, you know, and you have to, because thank God I've come to, because I've had ups and downs in my life, you know, and throughout my career, you know, I've had times where I was, you know, highly ranked in the world, and then had times where I fucking get kicked off 2 times, 3 times in a row, and you're only as good as your last fight, and I'm just, you know, nothing. So, and then battle back and do it again, and so, you know, I'm okay. Like before I even was going to be done, I didn't need that anymore, you know. So at the end of the day, I just want peace. I want to be happy.
Yeah, I mean that's the fucking thing, and I think it's like finding things to get addicted to that actually benefit your health, that you look forward to doing, whether it is fucking working out or doing a cold plunge or doing things that are actually making your health better.
When you retired, really what did you do? What was hard for you?
It was hard for me, bro. It was fucking hard for me because I'm like this dream that I've been chasing for so long. And I never even officially I'm retired.
I know. I was thinking about that. You never did that. Because you always held on to some hope that you were going to come back.
I mean, not even really that. I just never felt the need to be like, I'm retired. I'm just like, if I feel like fighting and the fight interests me, then I'll still do it.
Yeah.
But
do you still feel that way?
I mean, if it was a fight like Dylan Dennis or something,
it would be some fight like that. Which something like that is fucking very foreseeable.
Possible. I mean, yeah. But yeah, it was freaking hard. But still, just being like, I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna try to eat healthy, not because I have to make weight, and I'm gonna try to do these healthy things, not for anything, just because I know it makes me feel good, and I know it makes my brain healthy, and I know it makes my relationships better. I'm just gonna do it just because of that.
And it took how long for you to feel okay with it?
I mean, still I'm lucky enough that I have the gym to where I still get to do martial arts every day. I still get to come train, compete with my friends, and still be in it every day. If I had to step away from that, fuck.
Just probably hang yourself.
Yeah, I'd fucking call you up for some oxys.
Call you up for some oxys. And then just end it all. It's you guys like that? You fucking. I was about to go with it. Yeah. I got some extras. Yeah, most people don't have the things that you have, like the outlets, you know, that still keeps them close to the fight. You know. So and fucking obviously, Sean. I mean, you're not living through him, but you're doing it with him. So it's not. So that's. Fuck, you're not gone from it. Yeah, so you're gonna have the.
Yeah, I mean.
You have. I mean, you're not in the ring fighting anymore, but you're
still in it.
About as close as you could possibly be without doing it. You know.
Yeah. Where'd you watch Suge's fight?
I watched Suge's fight at my house, and
just with the fam.
Just myself.
God, were you pumped?
Dude, I was nervous. I was nervous. Yeah,
I was nervous too, bro.
I could not. I always watch you in the background too. Well, just because when we know someone personally, you listen to like the little things and stuff, like the things you say in the corner. I mean, and doing. I mean, because same thing with his last fight, man. I was hoping, praying he was gonna win, but I didn't realize how much better he's gotten on the ground. You know how much better his wrestling has gotten, and just fucking the fact. I mean, I was talking to Crash about this yesterday or the day before. I'm like, Sugar just doesn't fucking have any nerves.
It's weird, bro.
I've never seen anything like that. John remembers me saying that when you guys were first starting to go out and do stuff.
We remember when we didn't want us to go pro, and we're like, we're going pro, and like it's just like he fucking shows up and he just doesn't have any nerves in there. And the thing is,
that's huge, man.
You think it's easy for undefeated people, but he has gotten beat up before. He's gotten beat up as an amateur. He's had some wrestlers just fucking throw him around regular and beat him up. But still, I think people get nerves when it's gone bad.
Of course.
And then you're making the walk again. And
if you have no idea what loss feels like, then, that's and he does. So you're right.
Well, yeah, when you have a great training camp, you're feeling confident. You feel like you can't lose, and then something bad happens. And then you still have to come back, and then that happens again, and then it's a long career. So that's when it starts like playing those fucking games. But I would say, bro, for that pressure that was on him, that guy that he was fighting, that ice cold he was, the whole fight day, the whole fight week, like it was just.
I was going to ask you. So from when he was on the Contender Series, when he that fight here when he kicked that kid in LFA, was it LFA?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so how he acted before that fight compared to his last fight when he won the belt.
Well, before that fight, it was still a little bit like nervous because you wanted to get to the UFC. But then even on a lot of the UFC fights, there's things that are gone wrong, but he's so good at just being like focusing on what he can control. And I don't know if that was from us reading those books when we were real young.
Well, yeah, I remember you guys always strengthening your minds, your guys' minds like that. You know, that has to be. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, fuck.
But him having the ability to do that, I think is just as big as a weapon as anything else.
Oh,
you know, probably
fuck,
not. It's bigger than anything because this is mental.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole career I've struggled with going out there and not doing it.
Yeah, dude, literally every fighter I've met is dealing with something like that.
Sean goes out there and just he sees it, he does it, and especially like he is like I was like the things he was saying. He's a sniper. He's a sharpshooter. He's gonna find that chin, which that's he's not gonna take he's not gonna take him down and win the fight, but he just catches those rhythms and just bang catches it.
And just like how hard it is to punch that accurate and that hard backwards.
Yes,
moving backwards.
It's rare, and having that power as well, and not with that foot just hitting that drop back, not even really pivoting it over or pushing back off it. That's stuff that you guys work. I see you work on that stuff when you're holding pads. You know, I mean, that feeling had to have been fucking unbelievable.
Oh, bro, it was hard to even explain how happy I was.
I mean, because you rarely. I can't think of another coach fighter situation like your guys's. I can't.
Yeah, it is weird, huh?
I don't think there has been. I mean, maybe at a smaller level, but definitely not the highest level, or even close to the highest level. Because starting, you guys are both young, you know, and you know, you had unwavering support for each other for a long time, and then it rolls into this where just you guys have a friendship and a coaching relationship that doesn't get fucked up by the other one, which is rarely. It's never been done. I mean, honestly, think about it. It's congratulations to you, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
It takes a special person to be able to walk the line like that.
Yeah, especially for that last one, I'm like, how that fight camp was going. I'm like, I'm in charge of getting this kid ready. I'm like, well, as long as I can just get his legs in great shape, legs are in great shape, have a good little plan, and then just try to focus on what we can control. But that was hard to do facing Aljo, knowing how hard and reckless he comes forward. But I knew, like, if you come hard, we've sparred with people that their goal in sparring, you've been around so much that cut him off, get him out of the cage, cut him off, get him out of the cage. It's so much fucking harder said than done.
Fuck yeah.
Like so much. And if you haven't fought, you do not realize it. And I think all the higher up fighters, Marab, these guys, they see that and they know, like, damn, that fucking kid's footwork and athleticism is really good. People don't realize how athletic he is. I mean, they see he does have fast twitch muscles, but he's super athletic, man. Like he does special things. But did you feel a lot of pressure on yourself before that fight? Yeah, because I'm like, I just want to make sure I'm doing the right things.
It doesn't matter. You always question yourself. Everybody does.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I'm like, but really, because since we couldn't wrestle or grapple, I'm like, fuck. Now we got to do the best we can and go try to get lucky.
You couldn't wrestle or grapple?
For 5 weeks. 5.5 weeks, 0, Joe. We just did mitts. The mitts that you watched, that's what we would do 3 times a week, and he'd do his conditioning.
That's it?
That's it.
Why?
His rib was fucked up, and we didn't want to inflame it at all.
Really?
Yeah, you know how ribs are. They're bitch.
Oh, they're fickle. They take months.
So that's why I was a lot, because if I was able to prepare him and wrestle and get a lot of defensive wrestling, but it almost worked out better. Like with Habib and Connor, they almost probably wrestled so much that they expected him to get in a shot. But this one, we were like, if he grabs you, you're dead. So don't let him fuck. We tell him that if he grabs you, you're dead. So don't let him fucking grab you. Yeah, it's just crazy how it worked out.
I didn't even realize that.
That's why I was like, 90% of people would have pulled out for sure.
Really? Yeah, well, yeah, fucking 100%. They wouldn't want to lose that shot because if he pulled out, he would still have a shot. You know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's so good for good. That's even a bigger fucking feather in the cap, man.
Okay, William Hickman says, this is a question for Joe. Do you hit pads without gloves going into bare knuckle fights? How do you condition your fists?
Oh, well, this is something I always argue with people about. The only way you can strengthen your hands at all is breaking your fucking bones. You can't, I mean, which you
It's because they heal back and they're callous?
Yeah. I mean, you could take your knuckles and grind them on fucking sandpaper, but you're not going to, I mean, you might get your skin tougher, but the bones they're without breaking them and calcifying them, they are the way they are. And
realistically, how many times have you fractured and broke your hand?
Oh, which one? The one that's been shot off?
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, too, Joe was cleaning his pistol one night and
I was
shot
taking it apart.
himself.
I was cleaning it.
He was, and I was like, "What the fuck is this fucker trying to off himself?" That's what I was so scared about. I was like, when they got the call, but literally that pistol went off, shot through your hand,
and then went to my leg. Yeah,
and we thought trying to
run. Well, that's it. Anybody think, you know? Oh, he failed in suicide, so he's gonna I mean, it was
that was fucking dude. You've probably been through the most traumatic experiences than any human I've really.
But dude,
met.
What that did, what shooting myself, and because it went through my femoral artery, and then and you only have about 2 minutes 30 seconds to live.
If you shoot yourself in the artery.
In the femoral, but it ended up breaking off and creating because I was walking around like an idiot, and downstairs of my house, I walked in that room, laid down, and then the blood was hit me in the face, and then I'm like, I need to wake Lisa up. So then, if I didn't do that, it wouldn't have broke off and created two internal tourniquets that way because the gunman was involved. PD had to come in and clear the house.
How did you? Because I mean, you've had plenty of bad injuries and bad shit happen after you were addicted to pain pills. Yeah. So what the fuck do you do for the pain then?
I tough it through. This when I shot myself, it was very painful, and they had stuck almost like this barbecue brush in my leg to make it it wasn't like it had like some sort of cloth on it, but it had. This is after they went in and this is after they
that weed's getting it. Fuck me. He's got the list.
This is after they repaired my the artery, all this stuff, and they just put my hand together, and then so I'm awake, and because I have another surgery planned for like 5 hours, and like 5 hours something.
And they're not even pumping morphine into you?
No, I kept turning it down. I said no. But they're going to rip this thing out of my leg, which imagine when you pull a dry piece of cloth off of a wound, it's going to rip it wide open.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and it was through my leg. It was almost coming out the other side. I'm like, don't you fucking touch me. And then he's talking to this other nurse like I'm not there. He's like, okay, I'm 3. I'm like, I'm going to punch you in your fucking mouth. And then he's like, he's still like, okay, 1, 2. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm gonna punch right in your big fucking mouth. And she's like, we should just, because I was going into surgery. Why not do it then? Why fucking abuse me? Because I'm not taking painkillers, so I can feel every fucking thing. So then she's like, I think he's going to hit you. I'm like, I am. Please don't make me do that. I don't want to do it. I mean, so then they put me to sleep. So anyway,
you just go swing and miss, fall on the floor
like fucking Lieutenant Dane from fucking Forrest Gump. Oh God. Oh, but so anyways, this is like after my 4th surgery, I'm laying there, and then I finally get to sleep because they gave me Benadryl and Toradol, every narcotic thing, painkiller that you can probably get, but it was the first one I took that made me sleepy, and
anesthesia.
No. I was waking up. It'd been like a full day, but I finally started going to sleep. And on the board for the nurses to come in, it says the things that needed to is infection and pain control, but it also says under there do not give them opiates.
Will you tilt that mic a little? No, you can grab the end piece, and then just kind of like
that. Is it better?
Like pull it up like this.
Yeah.
There we go. That's way better.
Okay, so it's on the board. It says to control the pain, but it also says underneath it, don't give opiates. And then I wake up and she has a rig, like a syringe put into my rig, like the line.
Yep.
And get ready. And I kind of pulled my arm back and I said, "What is that?" And she says it was Dilaudid, which is like the most powerful opiate you can get in there. And then I'm like, what? How fucking? I just went off. I went nuts, and I asked for the head nurse, and I got this woman fired, and I felt terrible for it. But it was just because I felt like if I took that, I'd be like, here it comes, fucking who knows? I just don't know.
Should be living with your fucking bro.
Yeah, seriously, fucking would be.
Fuck idiot. Okay,
it's fucking. My brother's fucking hunched up.
Okay, here we go. Question for both of you. Who are some of the hardest hitters you've ever fought or trained with?
Robbie Lawler's probably got
sparring with him.
Yeah, he's the first person that when he knocked me down in training.
Southpaw, fucking, and you guys were probably just banging it out.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember a guy named Roy Markham.
Yes.
Okay, so as we did round robin.
And who he piled up someone, or did he get piled up?
He did a pile, and he was piled. But okay. Roy was a good striker. I mean, he
little short southpaw.
Yeah, I kicked him in the liver palm, and then so he goes out, and so me and Robbie are sparring. And I was always nervous to fight Robbie or Phil Baroni because if they could outstrike me, but they were really good wrestlers, I couldn't wrestle them, so I didn't know. So it was one that would make. And anyways, we're sparring, and before sparring starts, Pat says, "I want to see people flat on their fucking back today."
And this is Pat Miletich, and this is part of, what was that?
Miletich Fighting Camp.
Miletich Fighting Camp, and they had a bunch of heavy hitters, and I guess the training there was pretty crazy. So this was a sparring day, and he said he was wanting to see people get dropped.
Yeah, I mean, he said before sparring started, he said, "I want to see people flat. I want to see people flat in their back today." I'm like, the fuck is that? You're
in there pulling guard. Move your feet in circles.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, fucking kill it, be killed. Mm. So before we do round robin, I'm going with Jens. Beating Jens.
And Tim Sylvia next, launching some overhands.
I would pound Tim's fucking head, and
really?
I just fucking that to the body, fucking would jab the body over the head, and he would. Just he did the power slap thing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, fucking that's when he hit a new low. I mean, but I was talking to him last week. He's getting so fucking fat. Tim, I'm sorry.
God, that power slap. How would you be when you're ready to take your first slap? CTE. There's no way. I couldn't get slapped. I probably could not get angry and attack somebody. But just it makes it interesting. You can't turn over your toes and your hips. You got to stay flat.
But you see guys just
I know, curl their arm like it's a fucking hook.
Yeah, I mean it's a bunch of failed MMA guys going in there. A couple guys that never fought before.
Fuck.
But it's just so their head is fucking compromised anyways.
So probably Robbie Lawler for you.
Yeah.
Bell rung. Probably for me, you're probably up there for one of the hardest hitters. Jared Cannonier. When I was 18, Leo Bushido would fucking put a pounding on me.
Stories you tell about that.
So, yeah, those are probably the hardest hitters. But Jared Cannonier, he's got some heavy fucking punches. You hold pads for him?
Yeah.
It's heavy, huh?
And he's got long fucking arms. I mean, when that punch hits right at the end, pow, boom. I feel. I mean, he's he's brought his weight. I mean, his power down to weight classes.
A lot like you. Like, you guys used to be 300 pounds. So
how heavy was he?
Bones are dense. I think he was up there, too.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Dang.
Bones are fucking dense.
I just found out how old he was.
How old?
38. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, he's like, we've lived different lives. What the fuck do you mean by that?
That's the truth. Isn't that
because I'm like, what are you trying to do? I got a little defensive.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'm like, explain what you mean by that.
Usually that means it's true.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fucking just that's much. It is true.
Connor Strahan, he says, can we hear a side of the story of the hospital fight? Connor, I had Joe on. I forgot what episode it was. I think it was 90 something, and he talks about in detail the fight with Nick Diaz in the hospital.
In the interview, you can look at it. I mean, there's fucking. Counts.
Yeah, they're always asking about
but
that.
Watch, what's consistent is what I say, not about that fucking retard.
Okay, dinero, money, currency. Why don't more people throw the Peter Yan powerful 2 cross where he switches stances after each 2 cross? That one, I feel like you need to get really good one stance before you start doing that.
What is he saying?
When Peter Yan throws the right hand into southpaw.
Oh, okay.
But there's a point where your feet are going to be squared up in there. And if you're fighting a good counter striker and they're floating back and your feet are squared up, boom, you're going to get dropped. And that's why I think even when you're learning early on, you need to learn proper boxing in one stance before you start marching forward and doing all this stuff. Because a good striker, you see it with Aljo. I think he was marching forward on that left hand. He does it a lot. He did a lot in all of his fights.
Exactly what he was doing.
He'd march forward with that into another stance, float back, boom, get cracked.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
Well, what do you think with the whole switching stances thing?
I think that's exactly when you switch stances into a punch, you can't really predict how far back they're going because they're going back to set a trap, pushing that back foot, throw the right hand or check hook or whatever. You have to be really skilled in doing that. Make sure you're going in protected.
Yeah, people think they can just do it shadow boxing and in the mirror. It's like, yeah, maybe you can do it, but still defensively your balance probably isn't going to be great unless you're really skilled and athletic like some of these guys here. Ryan Shorts, he losing an eyebrow for flaking last pod.
Oh, motherfucker.
He was down in the dumps. He was going to give me both the brows. I didn't have a razor.
I was. He's in need of the belly, so he made me do this.
God, imagine if we could see all that footage from the Fight Master days that went on.
That was great.
That could have been a comedy, like, just fucking people would have loved that shit, but instead they made it that
ruined
way.
it. They did. Remember when I took those underwear and fucking went to throw to you? Oh, that was the best thing.
Yeah, with those reality shows, it's crazy how much goes on in 6-7 weeks, and then each episode they film it's going to be 20 minutes.
Because they said they wanted to focus on more of the fights, which is fucking bullshit. You know, it's like even the shit, like fucking the amount of garbage I had in my fucking bed. I didn't realize how bad it was until you showed me a picture of it. But there was a lot of fucking, because it was different than the Ultimate Fighter, but a lot of it was different. You know, like fucking stand with that fucking, that gimp fucking, but a guy who I fought in the
Cole
semifinals.
Williams.
Yeah, fucking lying about my hand the whole time, getting him to pick me.
It was weird because we'd literally you'd have to sleep next to your opponent the night before the fight, and me and Joe were trying to fuck with this kid's head, saying like, "Bro, there was some funny shit."
I'm going to pound you in dust,
and he was pretending he's sleeping, like
it's at night. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking pound you in dust. He's like. And then nights, because they have we're mic'd up it's still at night
till about 2 a.m.
And then I remember I'm in bed going, his shoulders bouncing, crying. All of a sudden, him come upstairs, and I just don't move. Like
the camera's on you.
Yeah, I'm doing backs turned. I think I was crying like 7 times when Tim just toweled me.
Well, every time before bed, I'd have to get a whole pile of shit because you'd start snoring so loud. Instead of bounce off your head, you'd stop for 10 minutes. 6 weeks of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, NZRM Charlie, Timbo and Joe, any thoughts on Ian Gary's comments around the new age UFC fighter benefiting from traveling to different gyms and locations to improve skill set versus the approach of staying in one spot? Like Sugar did in Arizona in your academy in the lab. It's obviously been successful for Sugar staying put. Thanks, brother. You think everyone's different?
I think they're better, yeah. I mean, I think it's made it better. When you stick with just one stable of guys and don't have more people to run through.
But what if it's a stable of guys like some like Jabroni, Jeet Kune Do place that's teaching you how to fight, and like, when do you know, like, hey, fuck, maybe I should go get another look?
I think as soon as you become the best guy in the gym and you don't really feel like you're getting the sparring like you used to, like you don't. Every time you spar, you should get some semblance of nerves. You know? If you're not getting that anymore, I think that's when it's time to go. Yeah,
I mean, that's good advice. If you're going into sparring, you're like, I'm comfortable. I can tattoo all these people. Or you're going to sparring, like, I know this motherfucker throws hard body shots, or I know he's going to pressure me the whole time. Like, for sure, having nerves. Yeah, that's what you need. That's how you go into a fight even if you
are nervous for every fight. That's how you can minimize it the most. The only way you can.
How often are you training these days? What's a day look like for you usually right now? Fuck, I gotta text my barber. I'm supposed to have.
For me or you?
You.
Well, since I had surgery on my foot, not a damn thing. But before that, in Montana, all I did is I would swim and beat up on Leo, and yeah, it was not much. Now that I'm back, it's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, in Montana, the last few years, I didn't really train for any of my fights.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you, Joe. You've obviously had a lot of fights throughout your career.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still plan on competing with your foot surgery after this?
I don't know. I mean, I like in Tim's situation when he was talking about, possibly a fight like that. So there's some things I mean, if something interesting comes up, yeah, I will. But I'm not just fighting for the fuck of it, I don't want to take in, like my last fight, my last 2 fights, I broke my foot in the ring. And then before that, I got headbutted out of the damn. You
got a fucking tomato smushed in your.
Before that, tomato fucking rubbed in my beak. They're out, and that's just awful. But before that, I was on like a 3-year streak,
Mm-hmm.
And then that tomato just fired it up.
Yeah, so if it makes sense financially, let it rip. If not, no.
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting strange easier. I mean, anytime your popularity goes up, probably getting strange is easier, but it's like, God.
What?
I mean, the more your popularity goes up, the more girls want you.
Yeah.
Would you say, yeah?
But that's why people, like, when they first get
popular,
any semblance of fame, and then they're getting, messages from people, and they're trying to slide their fucking, just.
Yeah.
I tell you, you have to have a good woman to be successful in life.
God, in fighting too, how much the girls go
through.
Through.
Fighting's almost, I think it's by far the most thing, because we have to be selfish in a huge way.
And then there's so many, just the surgeries and lows, and then there's highs, and there's
you're addicted to drugs all the time. It's the people that get addicted to stuff, doesn't matter if it's opiates or something that's harmful. I mean, it's the very high that you're going to have some sort of substance issues.
Yeah. Strategies to get rid of fear of missing out and anxiety that social media smartphones have created. I mean, fuck, I don't know. Maybe go get a workout, hit a bag of smoke.
He has anxiety of missing out.
Yeah, just being on the phone, being like, God.
Dude, the best thing I did, like my kids were we were at dinner. I'm like, everybody's got their head in their phones. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Really? So was it hard for the kids to move from Montana here? Was Joey
my
pissed?
son, yeah.
Was he like, fuck? Because he would have been what year at CMR?
Junior this year.
Damn, and starting on varsity.
He started on varsity as a freshman.
So is he a little bit happy to be down here or bummed?
Oh, he's happy. My daughter's super happy, and I'm super happy, man. I felt like I was dying up there. I really did.
Okay, Ezra Elliott here. Would you rather be blind and deaf for a month? Well, if you had to be blind or paralyzed for the waist down, what would you rather have?
For a month?
No, just for life.
Oh,
you have to pick.
Take my legs.
Blind. That's what I said. Frank and me getting this debate, and he's like, yeah, well, because he would say blind. I'm like, bro.
So you want to walk around this shit?
He's like, I'll be jogging. I'll be doing hikes.
Jogging?
I'm like, cool, dude.
Frank says this.
I'll be watching the fights with the boys, eating some pizza.
Yeah. You get a little pumped.
Well, a blind guy can eat pizza too.
Yeah, but you can't. But you get a little pumped to juice your root up, Then,
oh, yeah. Well, fuck, does the root work?
Yeah.
If you don't have legs.
Fucking, I've seen a goddamn torso with a root.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so if you're a not Christopher Reeves, he's a quadriplegic. Is a quad from the neck down or a waist down?
Shit, yes. I'm not sure.
Quadriplegic.
Okay, so if you're from the neck down, kiss your root goodbye. But if it's like the waist, like they do something to take all the feeling out of the ends of the stumps to go to your pecker. So it gives you some sort of life with that, because if you're married, for one, if you don't have a pecker with that, you're just gonna
just have a little strap
on. Whose dick you sucking?
Yeah, that's the truth. okay, if you could do a podcast with 5 people that are dead from any time period, who would you do? Probably Hitler.
Oh, that'd be a great. Have you seen some videos of him on meth?
Just fucking
Have you seen the one he was on meth?
Yeah. Holy shit. It's crazy. All the people just respected him and listened to him. They weren't like,
dude, I don't know if you have done much,
history on it.
Just research on history, just how some people come around where they're just so charismatic and have just people want to be around him. Then he just starts shouting fucking crazy things. People go along with it. You know, like fucking Jim Jones. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that guy. You ever heard Jonestown?
Mm-mm. Oh yeah. Like,
when people say fucking don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
It comes from that. You know what I mean? But that motherfucker had people move to a third world country, give them all their worldly possessions, let all the men give permission to him to fuck their wives, and then be done. And then he ends up murdering half of them. Not half of them, murdering all of them, except like 5 people who try to escape.
Yeah, that shit's always interesting. How they people buy the Kool-Aid.
Who else? So Hitler. Who else?
Fuck, I always get asked that question.
Connor.
It's just tough. Connor would be good.
Connor would be good.
I would
Fresh off a
you
couple
don't think you end up
bumps.
slapping him?
No, just let him go crazy. Let him fucking.
Like
rip.
you want to fucking just light the torch and watch it kick around. This is what he does. He likes to see. He just start shit and step back and watch it.
Wow, look at this crazy guy.
He's a little off today. I've been in the throes of one of his little fucking his little match starting things. I look at him looking at me. Oh, he's done it again.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's good.
What was a tougher fight for Diesel? Nick Diaz in the octagon or Team Diaz in the hospital? Probably the hospital because you're hooked up to the fucking gurney, right?
The IV pole, yeah. But having shit my pants was a real fucking mind fuck. Because even though I had fucking tights on, I knew it was corralled, but the smell was overwhelming. And Nick had it's weird. I'm like, oh man, he's got to smell that shit. Because his head was right where my waist was. Mm-hmm. And because I couldn't punch at all because my fingers were honestly this long because they're both broken. Mm-hmm. And he did the only thing where I could mount any kind of offense. He put his head there to toast on me. I'm like, yeah.
Dude. And then try and rub shit on his face.
No, I was thinking, God, he's got to be able to smell that. And then it didn't bother. Then his brother, I'm like, get this motherfucker off, because besides getting in trouble or having all that stuff, is fucking having shit and fucking having okay. So he had his brother there. I had Rich Franklin and Frank Mir, some guys. Is that full again?
No, it lights up. I'll show you the machine after we're done.
Okay, so but it's nuts because I'm like get your fucking brother. And I didn't want to fight. There was all these things coming. His brother hit me, and it was like, and then the people with me didn't do anything. Like if you were in the same situation, I would have fucking just strangled fucking Nick.
Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, who'd you have with you? Tim Sylvia, Rich Franklin, and Frank Mir. And they're just going.
Yeah, and fucking they're standing right there with Nate, and then I'm like, get this fucking. I wasn't like, get him off me. I was like, get your fucking brother off me, because there's cops coming. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you fucking
like
bitch.
Diaz type punches.
Yeah. They're like, then he starts getting he hit like 4 times inside of the head, and each one I felt like a little knot raising. Because my face was fucking completely unblemished going into the hospital. Coming out, I looked a little bit worse for wear. Looked like life had gotten to me.
I got to get to this hair appointment. Thanks for coming in,
hair
brother.
appointment.
Yeah, you ever heard of a haircut? Take it off.
It looks like
you got hair. It
looks like fucking you just got a haircut.
Yeah,
God's cutting his hair.
I need to get trimmed up. So, check out The Real Diesel Riggs on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he's got a new Instagram every week and a new phone number every week. So,
oh, it's good times, isn't it? Yeah.
All right. Hit that subscribe button. Comment what you think below. I'm going to answer the rest of these questions and all that stuff, and do the newsletter on Patreon. So you can check it out there. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Love you. Bye-bye.